This is Conflict Speech, Style Speech by Bradley Hopper. I'm using a PowerPoint just to kind of show my highlights. So when we run into work conflict, most of us are like, we don't want to be involved. We don't want anything to do with it. We run, we avoid. Most people do that because they don't want to see the results of it, the consequences, and also they don't want to be disliked by other people and their reputation. They want to keep their professionalism. So what do we do in these uncomfortable positions? Let's look at an example that we're given. There's a company that where they decided they want to trim the costs. So we're going to go to our next slide. Trim the costs. They want to decrease the costs. So that way they can save money. They can make a profit, which is reasonable. And so they decide that they're going to, instead of hiring a person that is for the administration assistant role, they want to split that job up into two department heads. When they have two department heads, we have to be able to work together, but the company decides that they also want our methods to change a little bit. And so the way that we're doing it, when you have somebody who's been in a job for a long time, that's a little bit hard because we're so set in our ways that we have our routine. It's like, don't mess with our routine. And so many of you guys can relate to that, that there's a conflict at work and you're like, oh, I hate the management for doing this. I hate this, and so anyways, how we react is the biggest thing that we're going to look at. Is we can react in two different ways. One is the way that I reacted towards this particular company decision to cut the costs, and that is to go ahead and, even though I dislike how they do things, I agree with Stephanie about her concerns um, as well, and I don't want to compromise, but I do, with the company. Her idea is an ineffective way, which is to basically go against what their new methods are and to go ahead and continue the way that she's been doing, you know. But the problem is that this isn't thinking about other people, so it's at a low concern for others, but high concern for herself. She doesn't want to change. Next slide. Now that the conflict is summarized, let's look at our best options. Avoiding, first of all, is the first thing that came into my mind. This is not an option. And I like this picture because she's doing meditation between two people who are conflicting. This will not do because you don't have a result. It's still an issue. No matter how much you avoid, it's still an issue that needs to be solved. So it does nothing. And again, the scenario that we're given, the option that we're given is be more friendly to reduce tension. That actually is avoiding. Go above to hire admin and explain Stephanie's response and unwillingness to abide by new policies. That's going above Stephanie's head. She's going to still be mad, and we're still going to have a conflict. Basically, you're competing. It doesn't do anything. Meet with Stephanie, or known as collaborating, and win-win situation results and strengthen the relationship. This is collaborating. This is something that's good. That we work together on. This is going to be option 4, asked to be re-signed. It's giving her way. She wants to do it her way, how she's been doing it. She doesn't want to change, and so then she gets her way, and that doesn't solve this issue because the company decided that this is how we're going to do things. Option 5, sit down with Stephanie and map it out, a plan to separate the work duties. We were compromising. This is actually the best option. But now that I'm done with my points, this is the best option to do because what happens is that the compromising helps to get things solved. Option 1 and 2 are pointless. It's Stephanie's demand. And then we have option compromising and collaborating. Collaborating is also another option that we could choose. Competing obviously isn't there, and so the best option to do is collaborating or compromising, because you're coming alongside them and you're not going against them. So that's my speech. Thank you.